What up guys, I'm Josh, this is Josh Build Stuff, and today is an exciting day because once again we've got more results from the LEGO Ideas program. I love LEGO Ideas. I love all the sets that come out of it. I love the whole idea behind it. I love the philosophy, the mentality, and I think it's still kind of a broken, flawed system. And today is another example of why that's kind of the case, because this was a big set of potential sets that LEGO Ideas team had to review, and we got 2.5 new sets approved. Here are all of the sets that were up for review this round. All of these got 10,000 votes, and the couple that were actually chosen this time were the Jazz Quartet, which is a very cool set. Cheers to that set. The Office, we finally got it. More on that in a second. And this one is still under further review, but Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, their little cottage home. And so as usual, this is an opinion video. I'm not going to try to go through every single one of these sets, because even if we talked about each one for like 30 seconds, this video would be like a half an hour long. Even if we talked about each one for 10 seconds, this would still be a 10-minute long video. Plus, we've already wasted this time doing some rough math, so we don't have time for that. But I will give my opinion on the sets that were approved, and I'll point out a couple of sets that I kind of wish were approved, that if it were just completely up to me, they're the ones that I might have chosen. First, the sets that did get approved, the Jazz Quartet. This one I think won like a music contest that LEGO had a little while ago. I think it's beautiful. I think it's awesome. I don't know that I would get it. I'm not the biggest music fan, but I think the execution of it is beautiful. I love these figures at this scale. I think each of these instruments look beautiful. This is like the LEGO Ideas program epitomized. It's a unique idea. It looks great. It kind of is targeted towards adults, I would think, which is like all of these sets. This one is fantastic. I love it. Again, personally, I don't know if it's for me, but I think it's amazing. Next, The Office. It's about time that someone had the idea to submit a LEGO Office design to the LEGO Ideas program. That's sarcasm, because the LEGO Ideas Office sets get submitted all the time. I think this very set was submitted 3 different times, got 10,000 votes each round, and still wasn't approved until right now. But personally, I love The Office, as do most people. I've watched the whole series multiple times, as have most people. But as far as a LEGO set goes, and in terms of a LEGO set, like, it's not that interesting. It is just one flat plane because it's an office building, and I guess you can divide up cubicles and you can kind of recreate some office moments, but just like having those moments portrayed in diorama form, just doesn't, I don't know. I'll be excited to see the set. I'll probably end up getting it, but like just fitting a couple of like references and Easter eggs throughout like stickers in a set, that just doesn't do it so much for me when the actual like subject of the set is just a big office building with desks and computers and stuff. It's a tough one. Cheers to the creators and the designers and everyone who got this far. Obviously, there is a demand for this set, but personally, I mean, that's just like, I don't want to like be the guy that says that I don't want this set, but like there are other sets here that would be cooler to have, in my opinion, in LEGO form. And the third set, which is still up for further review, is the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, this little like cool cottage building. It's a nice building. It's nicely constructed. I like the movie, I guess. It's a Disney classic. I like the interiors. I think it's very well done. It's interesting that this is the one that was chosen by LEGO instead of like the plethora of other medieval themed cottages and castles that were available. Maybe this one actually had some like IP tie-in that LEGO was confident that they could get. So an interesting choice. Again, I don't think that this particular subject matter is that appealing to me, so this set would have to like really blow me out of the water when it gets produced to make me actually buy it. So those are the new approved sets, and those join a couple of other LEGO Ideas sets that are already like in the process of production at some stage. We got the Motorized Lighthouse a little while ago. Starry Night was recently approved. There's still a Globe supposed to be coming our way eventually. A Sonic the Hedgehog set. I keep forgetting that's a thing. That's going to be a real set. Cool. And then the Home Alone set, which is rumored to come out a little later this year. We'll see if that is actually the case. Of these sets, like the Globe is appealing to me, and like maybe Van Gogh, I'd love to see it in finished form. The rest, I may end up skipping. We'll see. But like I said, this round had 57 different sets, ranging from things like the Princess Bride and Tutankhamun and Zelda. We always get at least one Zelda set, the Baba Yaga. That doesn't the witch literally eat children? You can't have that one. There were more than one office set submitted even in this round. A whole bunch of just varied sets across all different kinds of themes. Of course, we got a bunch of castles before. We got some other varied things, a lot of things from very popular IPs, and I actually thought this was like a really great assortment of sets. And besides like the large number of buildings, which don't really appeal to me, I'm a ships and vehicles kind of guy myself, like there's still a whole bunch here, and there's so many like beautifully designed sets by so many talented creators, and like it'd be great if so many could be turned into actual sets, but like there are so many limitations with the program. At least these can be resubmitted, but then they get 10,000 votes again when they get submitted, and then the next round gets bigger and bigger. I don't know, it's a strange system, but let's scroll through a couple of sets that I personally would love to have, that are the most just purely subjectively, the sets from this big round that are the most appealing to me personally. First up, the Succulent Garden. I love the new Botanical Collection sets. I think this set would fit right in, and honestly, I would be very surprised if LEGO doesn't already have something like this in the works. I think a succulent would be the perfect accompaniment to the regular bouquet of flowers, the bonsai tree, and the Bird of Paradise set. Honestly, there's so much LEGO could do with plant sets. They just, as long as they don't burn us out and give us too many at a time, this one would fit right in. The NASA SLS and Artemis. This one I'm a little biased on because I like space and space flight, and we're kind of entering this new era of space innovation, and it's very exciting. This is the next rocket that American scientists are creating, and we're going to use this as the next big launch vehicle. So this one would be extremely cool to get as a real LEGO set. It would look great next to the Saturn V rocket. That would be amazing. It'd be a shame if we didn't get some other big rocket in the future. And speaking of big rocket, another one that really appeals to me is the SpaceX Starship and Super Heavy. The BFR, for those who are SpaceX aficionados. This is like the top SpaceX rocket, which we've done multiple test flights of right now, and like that's crash landed a couple times, but I think it landed at least once. I don't remember. And then it's got the extra booster section, which we haven't actually seen a launch with that part. This one would be amazing to see. And again, as spaceflight gets more popular and SpaceX is more popular, and LEGO has a huge intersection of like science and technology, and space fans love LEGO and LEGO loves space, this would be amazing to have. I would not be surprised to see this as an official set, and also to see this same set resubmitted a plethora of times, and eventually we'll probably get one of these things made, if not also a Falcon 9 made or a Falcon Heavy created. There's just a whole bunch you could do with space sets, and they get a lot of votes, and so I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this in the future, and that's one that I would buy for sure. The next one is the violin. This one it appeals to me for different reasons. I am not a musician. I don't play any instruments. I'm not even a big fan of classical music, but this set, it's just like from a technical standpoint, it's beautiful. Plus we got the grand piano. We just got the LEGO, the Fender guitar recently. And so this one I think would fit in with existing sets that are already out. And in addition to that, it just looks like a big art piece. It may be a little too big to be turned into a real set. Like this is a 1-to-1 size, so that would be a very large set. But that's not to say LEGO couldn't make this or couldn't make something in a smaller scale. This one appeals to me just because it's so dang pretty. And speaking of being so dang pretty, hey, how you doing? No, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about this Marine Life LEGO Ideas submission. If you know me, you know that I love marine life, anything nautically oriented, any fish or under the sea things under the sea. This one looks beautiful. It's like 3 different sea creatures depicted under this cool like glass, like scientific specimen looking thing. This would look cool next to like the ship in a bottle just because of how much glass is used here. But even these individual creatures, like I would buy this as like 3 separate sets. LEGO could do a whole line of things and in this same theme, and like each one could be a different creature and they could be displayed together or separately or whatnot. I think these all look cool. They're super well built. Maybe slightly too large for a LEGO Ideas set. I never know what like piece threshold LEGO is really looking for, but these things, they're beautiful, they're detailed, and I personally would love to own them. Then the last one up here, an honorable mention as far as my own personal preferences are concerned, the Steampunk Airship combines some things that I am a fan of, like pirate ships and blimps, or just general steampunk themes. I think there's a lot that can be done with this theme. I think LEGO themselves, they've done kind of steampunky things before, but I think there's a big market out there for people that would love just stuff like that. Look at this, like an airship captain. He's got the captain shoulder things and a map and a bunch of like aeronautical instruments there. I think this one would be very cool. Again, looks kind of large, kind of big, but I don't think it's something that LEGO they couldn't make. This one is very cool. And so thinking along those same lines, would I have put either of the 2 approved sets into like my top tier list out of all of the sets here? I would probably mention the Jazz Quartet just because of how pretty it is, but honestly, I would have left the Office off completely. It's just not a set that I'm super interested in, but there is so much here that just looks so cool, and a lot of sets that have gotten the 10,000 votes multiple times in this list. So I don't know what we do about getting more LEGO ideas projects created more. Maybe it's the Bricklink Designer Program that'll pick up the slack in that. We will see on all of that. As always, thanks so much for watching. Let me know which of these sets you would love to see turned into actual LEGO sets and why your hopes and dreams were dashed upon the rocks. In a metaphorical sense. And let me know if you're someone who gave support to the couple of projects that got completed, and if you would actually buy the Jazz Quartet or the Office set. I'm very curious as to the actual like consensus of the LEGO community if we're actually going to go buy those sets, or if we just say those look cool, please make it, and then not go out and buy it. It's always a weird, it's a weird, wonderful program, in my opinion. I have a lot more thoughts on it, but I'll leave those for another video. Like I said before, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.